Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum, your place for the latest news, views, rumors, and gossips in the world of cricket. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to this show. Now, today's show, I'm going to look and preview Group B of the World Cup, the ICC 2022 T20 World Cup in Australia. I'm going to be previewing Group B. Before I get to Group B, however, I just want to extend condolences to David Miller. David Miller, who played for the Barbados Royals in this year's CPL and is also a member of the South African cricket team going to the World Cup, is now in the one-day squad playing in India, lost his daughter on Saturday. She was not yet 10 years old. I do not know exactly her age, but from looking at the video that have been released, she's not yet 10. She was a sweet little girl, and she died of cancer on Saturday. Interestingly, David Miller did not leave India and come home. That was very interesting to me. It has been a tough 5-6 days for cricket because on Thursday, Sandeep Labachane, the Nepal captain and right-arm leg spinner who played in the IPL and was a member of the Jamaica Talawa squad in the CPL, was arrested on his return to Nepal. Yes, he was arrested by the Kathmandu police on a charge of rape against a 17-year-old girl. And then on Friday, news came that West Indies opener and Jamaican opening batsman John Dylan Campbell have been banned for 4 years for anti-doping violation. Now, let's look at Group B in the World Cup because that is what I'm going to preview today. Now, we're going to start by looking at Ireland. Ireland reached this stage of the World Cup by coming second in the tournament that was held in the UAE. Now, to qualify for the World Cup, 2 tournaments were held, one in Zimbabwe and one in the UAE. Now, Ireland took part in the one in the UAE and came second. They were beaten by the UAE in the finals. Now, it seems like the UAE have Ireland ticket because in a 4-nation tournament in February, the UAE was the only team to beat Ireland. That tournament was contested between Oman, Nepal, Ireland, and the UAE. While Ireland won the other 2 matches, the UAE beat them. And you remember that last year, the UAE also beat Ireland. So it appears that the UAE have Ireland ticket. But since June, Ireland have played 4 T20 series. They have lost 3 of them, and they have beaten Afghanistan in 1. They beat Afghanistan 3-2 in a series in Dublin in Ireland, but they lost 3-0 to New Zealand, 2-0 to South Africa, and 2-0 to India. All of these matches were played since June. Now, looking at the Ireland team, and the coach have said that Ireland is going to be going very, very hard in this World Cup. The captain is Andrew Balbirnie. Now, I think the batting will centered around Andrew Balbirnie, Paul Sterling, who played in the CPL for the Guyana Amazon Warriors and failed to impress. He's a different animal when he's playing for Ireland, and he expected to lead off. Ian Balbirnie expected to open the innings. We also expect Harry Tector, who played for Barbados in the CPL too and did not do much. We expect that Harry Tector, so the batting will center around Andrew Balbirnie, Paul Sterling, Harry Tector. We expect the bowling attack to be led by Josh Litter, George Dockrell, Garth Delaney, and Simi Singh. Now, Simi Singh, they said that he's a mystery bowler and he's able to turn the ball both ways. I think that Matt Bryan should consider himself very unlucky not to be in this Ireland team. But Ireland will be expecting to get their runs from Andrew Balbirnie, who's the captain, Paul Sterling, who opens the innings, and Harry Tector. I think those 3 will be expected to score the bulk of the Ireland runs. The bowling attack, I expect Josh Litter and Simi Singh to be who they are dependent on to get their wickets. But George Dockrell and Garth Delaney, those 2 spinners, should come in. It's very unfortunate. Well, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but Andy McBride should have considered himself lucky. Ireland is going into this tournament having lost 3 of the 4 T20 series since June. I don't know what's the level of confidence, but they said that the coach had said that he expects to play an aggressive brand of cricket. So that's my preview on Ireland. Now let's look quickly at Scotland. Scotland, who last year's World Cup, won their 3 matches in this group stage, but they failed to win a match in the Super 12. They lost all 5 matches that they played in the Super 12 in last year's World Cup, although they won all 3 matches in the group stage. This is a group stage that they are in again this year. They are in Group B with Ireland, Scotland, Zimbabwe, and the West Indies. Since the World Cup last year, they have played only 2 T20 series and have lost them both. So it's a very strong Scotland squad. In the context of Scotland cricket, it's a very strong squad. And when they can leave out Oliver Harris and bring in Brandon McMullen, a lot would be expected of Brandon McMullen, being that he's going to replace Oliver Harris. I think Harris' 12 average have caught up with him, and Scotland have finally decided to leave him out. If you remember, in last year's World Cup, Josh Davey and Bradley Wheel, yes, Josh Davey and Bradley Wheel, they were very impressive with the new ball up front. And they are again expected to lead Scotland bowling attack in this World Cup. So Josh Davey and Brad Wheel, who were very impressive, they bowl at good pace in the last World Cup. They are expected again to lead the World Cup. And they have 2 very good spinners. Asma Tayer, in particular, is a very, very good right-arm leg spinner. And Matt Watt is also a good off spinner. So Scotland will be depending on Josh Davey, Brad Wheel, Mark Watt, and Amza Tahir to restrict the batsmen. It is not a bad bowling unit. And if you looked at how they bowled in last year's World Cup, you cannot write off this bowling unit. A lot, though, will depend on our Richard Berrington, the 35-year-old experienced captain. A lot will depend on how he bat to put sufficient runs on the board. Because in the matches that Scotland played, they have consistently conceded 200 runs in T20 cricket. So a lot is going to depend on their batting. And this batting is led by Richard Berrington, the captain. George Munsey, who's also another veteran, is expected to play his role with the bat. I expect Callum McLeod, I expect great things from Callum McLeod and Brendan McCullum, who is in the team in place of Oliver Harris. So we expect those 4 batsmen to make some runs for Scotland. If I'm to choose a standout performer for Scotland, I would go with Richard Berrington. He's a very good batsman at the top of the order, and you cannot take this Scotland team for granted. Even in 2019, they think that they should have been in the ODI World Cup if decisions did not go against them. So please do not take the Scotland team for granted. Look out for Richard Berrington and Asma Tayer with the ball. Richard Berrington with the bat, the captain, and Amza Tayer with the ball. Look at the Scotland team. They will be the West Indies' first opponent in the World Cup, and we should not take them for granted because they have a strong squad and they believe that they can beat the West Indies. What can we say about the West Indies? Now, this is our team, and we expect and we want the West Indies to do good. We are very interested in the West Indies to do good. Will they do good? I don't know. This West Indies team have not shown that they have the ability to play cricket consistently. And there are some persons who are not totally satisfied with the squad that has been named. But as West Indian, we need to put our full support behind this West Indies team. Because since January, we have beaten England 3-2 in a T20 match. We lost to India 3-0 in India. We have beat Bangladesh 2-0 in the Caribbean. There was a third match that washed out. We lost to India 4-1 in the Caribbean. We lost to New Zealand 2-1 in the Caribbean. And just recently, in those 2 T20 International against Australia, we lost. So we are not going into the tournament with a lot of form, with a lot of confidence. But at this level, in this group that includes Scotland, Ireland, and Zimbabwe, West Indies must be the favorite to go through in this group, because all in all, we have some very good match winners in this team at this level. There's no doubt about it. Brandon King has so far looked the most assured batsman in Australia, and we'll hope that he will continue to be prolific. We hope that the captain will come to the party and start scoring some runs, especially at this level. Now, we expect that the bowling to be led by Alzarri Joseph, who have really impressed and continue to bowl consistently above 145, touching 150 on a number of occasions. We are very impressed with Joseph, and I don't think the batsmen in this group, in these other three teams, can really stand up to Alzarri Joseph and Akeal Hosein in particular. Whether Cottrell will play or not, because Cottrell have a knock of getting wicket early, and he did not do so against the UAE in the warm-up match on Sunday, is left to be seen. But I think that this West Indies team, despite losing all three of their series leading up to the World Cup, they lost to India, New Zealand, and Australia. Despite losing all those series, I still think they are the best team in this group, and look out for King, Brandon King, and we hope that Shamar Brooks get back some of his form. So we are expecting that the batting will be led by King. We hope that Myers will be more consistent, and that the captain will come to the party. Odin Simit will continue to improve his bowling. His economy keeps going down for the last 6 months, and that's a very good sign. So we hope that he continues to improve. His economy is now below 10. That is very good. His economy is now below 10, and he achieved that playing against teams like India, New Zealand, and Australia. So Simit should be given credit. He's improving as a bowler. We know his ability to score quickly. So all in all, I expect this West Indies team to qualify as top of the zone. Now, the other team in this competition, in this zone, is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, who hosts the second qualifying tournament in Zimbabwe. So for the teams to reach this stage of the World Cup, there were 4 teams that reached this stage of the World Cup through qualifying. One tournament was hosted in the UAE, and the 2 finalists, who were the UAE and Ireland, qualified for this stage of the World Cup. Another final was hosted in Zimbabwe, and in that tournament, Namibia and Zimbabwe qualified for the finals, and they were the finalists, so they are in this stage of the World Cup. Zimbabwe is in the West Indies group, the Group B that I'm previewing. Now, Lance Klusener, the batting coach for Zimbabwe, resigned last week. There's speculation why he has resigned, but if you remember, Heath Streak and Brandon Taylor, 2 Zimbabweans who are banned from cricket for match fixing, claim that what drove them to match fixing is that they did not get pay on time from the Zimbabwe Cricket Association or Zimbabwe Cricket, whatsoever they're called. And they said that's what drove them to match fixing. And I'm wondering if it is because Klusener was not paid why he has resigned as batting coach of the Zimbabwe team. I don't know. I'm just speculating here that he probably was not paid. That's why he has resigned as batting coach of the Zimbabwe cricket team a week before the start of the World Cup. But Zimbabwe have lost series to Namibia. They have lost to Afghanistan leading up to this World Cup. They have beaten Bangladesh 2-1. Afghanistan beat them 3-0, and Namibia beat them 3-2 in subsequent T20 series leading up to this World Cup. They are going into this World Cup without confidence. But in Sikandar Raza, look for that name. Remember that name. He's a veteran. He's about 33, 34-year-old. But Sikandar Raza, who won the ICC Player of the Month for August, He bowls off spin and he bats very well. He generally bats about 4 or 5, and he's a very good attacking batsman. He scored 2 consecutive centuries against India in ODI earlier this year in August, and maybe that's what contributed largely to he winning the ICC Player of the Month for August. So look for Sika Darwan in this Zimbabwe team. He will be one of their key players. Also, I want you to keep your eye out for the captain, Craig Irvin, who will open the innings. He's also a very good batsman. And Sean Williams, who support Raza in most of those innings. So the batting deeds for Zimbabwe, these are the 3 persons you should look for. Raza, Craig Irvin, and Sean Williams. Well, the bowling will be led by Wellington Masakazda. Look for Wellington Masakazda to spearhead the bowling attack along with Blessing. Blessing and Masakazda should spearhead that Zimbabwe bowling attack, and they will be expecting that Ryan Burl and Raza play their role in limiting the opposition. All in all, this is the preview of Group B. I expect it to be a very, very competitive Group B. But in the end, I hope that the West Indies, I think that West Indies will pull through from Group B. Group B, either first or second, and qualify for the Super 12 stages of the World Cup. Each match that a team wins in this group, in this first phase of the World Cup, they will get $40,000. It's the same amount that they will get if they win a match in the Super 12. The winner of the competition will get $1.6 million. So the overall winner of the competition will get $1.6 million. Second place will get $800,000. And I'm talking US dollars here, while the 2 losing semifinalists will get $400,000 each. But in addition to those prize money that you win, you will also get $40,000 for each match that you win at the World Cup. I expect from this Group B that the West Indies and Scotland will go through to the Super 12 round. Thank you for tuning in. Please slash a like on the video, share and subscribe. That is my Group B preview, and my condolences goes out to David Miller, the South African middle order batsman who plays for the GT in the IPL and plays for the Barbados Royals in the CPL. Lost his little daughter on Saturday to cancer. Condolences to the family of David Miller. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and please slash a like on the video. Until tomorrow, when I give you the starting 11, not tomorrow. Tomorrow they're playing a match, so I will give you the starting 11 for the West Indies on Thursday. Yes, I'm going to tell you who's going to start in the West Indies starting 11. On Thursday, I'll tell you who will start in that match for Sunday. Until Thursday, take care and may God bless you and have a great day.